I want to take us back to an issue we spent some time on talking about previously. That is, approaches to safely removing and stabilizing arsenic while improving gold grades. Now, at the center of that discussion was Dundee Sustainable Technologies. The company has expanded its partnerships and seen strong results with miners. Jean-Philippe Mai is the company's CEO. He joins us now. Jean-Philippe, thanks once again for talking to us.
Hello, Devin. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, look, the last time we spoke, you explained how your glass lock process could safely remove arsenic from concentrates. Since then, it seems like Dundee has been building momentum. Can you give us an update on how miners are responding to that technology?
Yeah, no, it's been great. This is something that we've been doing for quite some time already, and it's actually a big portion of our business. In the past year, working with arsenic-bearing sulfide concentrate as represented over 60% of our business, and this is probably just a reflection that miners and project developers are definitely seeing the added value and benefits of utilizing other approaches for dealing with complex and arsenic-rich concentrates.
Yeah, look, and there's a lot of results or case studies to look at. You've worked with a few, Revival Gold just being one of them. Their results showed higher gold grades at almost no arsenic left over. How significant was that outcome for you, Jean-Philippe?
Well, it's definitely been a great working with various companies, notably the companies that are proactive at publicizing the results and telling their shareholders in the market what is achievable, because this is, of course, it's a great opportunity. It's a great showcase for our work. It's definitely great that now more of our clients are advertising and publicly disclosing some of the results, showing the efficiency of the process. Because for numerous years, as you know, working with arsenic has been a bit of a taboo, and very often we work on projects where it's not been it's been a bit of a silent work, because people don't like to emphasize the fact that they're working with a problematic, which is very often what we've been working with.
Yeah. And I'm glad you touched on the technical side, but let's get more into that. Why is arsenic, especially for people just not too deep into it, why is arsenic such a challenge for gold and copper producers? And how does turning it into glass actually solve the problem long term?
Yeah, well, arsenic has been a growing issue for numerous years, as the industry knows and is very well aware of. Is that those oxide deposits are depleting. More and more deposits are going at depth, where the precious and the base metals are associated to the sulfide minerals, and very often this sulfide, those sulfide minerals are arsenic bearing, whether it's arsenopyrite, energite, tennantite, or even cobaltite. So you're seeing a lot more of those salt deposits that are now associated with arsenic bearing sulfides. And of course, when you're generating a sulfide concentrate, you're floating those sulfides, you have high amounts of arsenic, which has seemed to be trending upwards over the past decade. And the smelting and the concentrate market is quite competitive. There's a lot of regulations that are imposed in terms of both arsenic thresholds, and this translates to penalties, ultimately to costs being affected and proportional to the amount and the quantities of arsenic that are traveling in some of these concentrates. So. And there's also there's a financial upside to being able to remove arsenic and allow for market options for the project to be diversified, and also to have a longer perspective, because as you know, in the smelting and the concentrate market, it's difficult to have long-term offtake agreements. You're subject to market, so you'll have short-term agreements. So you need to it's difficult to have a longer term planning when you're subject to market, as opposed to being able to remove the arsenic gives you a lot of options.
Yeah. Listen, you mentioned before that Dundee operated plants both in Canada and at a copper smelter in Africa. Have those plants opened doors for commercial adoption?
Oh, definitely, because bringing and developing new technologies to the mining industry and to market is a very difficult task, and we are having plants is definitely a great tool that allow to provide operational data at scale, bring confidence, de-risking, and also bringing a lot of the awareness and the understanding on the process. When people get to come to our plant in Thetford Mines, see the process, see the equipment also that is being used, because what we're doing is we are bringing, we've developed new approaches, which is based on the chemistry. So when people get to see the plants, they can also get familiar with the equipment and realize that we're utilizing equipment that's already being used in the industry, either for different application or at different scale. So providing a lot of this first operational data and process understanding has been very valuable for us.
Jean-Philippe, finally, to wrap up, I mean, ultimately, you want to make Glasslock and Clever part of standard practice for gold and copper miners dealing with complex ore. I mean, what's the next step trying to achieve that?
Yeah. Well, I think for us, our intention was always to provide options, to be a tool for the industry and for operators and developers to look at options, to look at what are the best options for their projects. So of course we've developed good relationships with miners and mintiers over the years. We have great projects that are developing rapidly and going towards commercial implementation and adoption. Markets that have been very active for us has been Africa has been very good. So we have some good projects that are developing. Also smelters in Asia Pacific area have been great market for us. The Americas, of course, and both Clever and Glasslock can also operate together. So in most of our projects, we work with them individually or separately. But there are cases where Clever and Glasslock can work together, again, due to the chemistry of our processes. Notably in Clever, we do solubilize arsenic, which can then be precipitated and then vitrified using Glasslock. So I think no two projects are the same. So we're very project focused, and I think it's going well, and we definitely continue to ask the industry to be curious and to use us as a tool to demonstrate or to look at what value new approaches can provide and bring to the projects.
Yep, so we'll certainly be keeping an eye on this. Well, it does sound interesting indeed. Jean-Philippe Mai, the company's CEO there at Dundee Sustainable Technologies, thanks indeed once again for your time.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.